And we're live. Welcome back to Aether Eternius Dark Side of the Foundry. Who would like to recount what happened last time? Any takers?
I guess I can go ahead if no one else will.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, let's see. There were orbs. A whole lot of
Mm-hmm.
orbs. I and Flix decided let's play a nice game of trebuchet with these.
What you mean to say is Flix outsmarted them? Because he did.
Flicks out an inanimate object?
Yes, and it was glorious. Quiet, you're just jealous.
One of them almost crushed Porphyrius.
It comes with the territory.
But you guys managed to relocate the orbs back to their original positions on their specified pedestals that kind of opened the way and actually pulled down the barrier that had been previously blocking you. You have made your way up to what you think is the second floor of the Wind Temple, and you were greeted with the sight seeing that the storm that had covered the plane of wind, at least from what your knowledge was gone. However, as you turn around to kind of greet the rest of the way, you notice that these hallways are not lit. They're incredibly dark.
Not this again.
Now, it's not so much dark as in magical darkness. It's a case of there's no lights. All the torch sconces are gone dark. The only light that's coming in is from the window that is behind you. I typed that wrong. Well done, me. I typed that completely wrong. Whoops. Copy. You also notice that it is very quiet up here. From the looks of at least the ceiling, the high ceilings, this place is completely enclosed.
Does anyone have a torch?
I'll pull one out and light it up.
Okay. Tiberius, as you see Rose kind of light the torch up, your eyes kind of start to adjust to the area around you, and you notice something off. The similar glitches that you'd seen in Fire, especially in the labyrinth you had gone through, are here as well.
Oh, good. More of that crazy magic is around here. Be careful, as if you didn't already know.
Wonderful. Do you think it's going to attack us if we split up again?
I mean, maybe. Right now all I see is one hallway, so it's very hard to split up when we're so confined.
I'm allowed to look at the big picture.
Just let me know if you see any more orbs. I can take care of them.
Right, well, Rose, you have the light. Off you go.
Yeah, go me.
I'm gonna pull out my lute and start playing him some heroic music as he walks down the hall.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a performance real quick. See how well you do. Yeah, you're feeling pretty triumphant from your display downstairs at the very least, and you're playing a nice kind of jaunty, heroic tune in step with Rose's footsteps, and it definitely fills the incredibly quiet hallways. In fact, that's like the only sound aside from Rose's torch that you hear.
I'm just imagining like Flix's music and this like background ambient music I'm playing. It's like, this is the weirdest jam session ever.
The hallway itself is lined with various tapestries of depicting wind, and you notice that there's no windows here either. But there's little tables with like vases and the like, and ornate wood dressers, and it's kind of very nice and ornate in general. And as you move forward, you notice that there is a large door. It is currently closed, but it's about 20 feet high, same as the ceiling. And it looks rather thick. It's made of like sort of a green wood type thing with almost golden borders around it as the kind of fittings.
I'd like to listen through the door then.
Are the
Go ahead and
glitches
give
getting
me.
worse the closer we get?
They are getting much worse. Rose, go ahead and give me a perception.
Okay.
Nope, you can't hear anything. The door seems a little thick.
Sounds like wood.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, the things are getting worse the closer we get to the door, so when you open it, expect bad stuff.
Wonderful. Let me have a listen.
Go ahead.
Perhaps if someone wasn't playing their insufferable music, we'd actually be able to hear something.
Sorry, can't hear you playing amazing music.
Yeah, you can't hear anything over Flix's music.
If only the one rabbit had some taste.
Frias, what was your passive perception again?
19.
19. Okay. As you kind of are listening to Flix's music and kind of see Various and Rose kind of put their heads to the door to listen, for a brief moment you feel the ground just lightly rumble under your feet before it stops.
Note taken.
All right.
I said one of you had no taste. I didn't say which one, but maybe I'll say both rabbits have no taste. Sheesh. One's a backseat minstrel.
All right. If you're done bickering back there,
Never!
That was perfect. Just at the same time.
Rose looks over to Valua next to them. All right. Just be ready on point here for whatever the hell is on the other side. I'll take one hand onto the door and start pushing it open enough to start trying to peek in.
And I start
you
playing
need-
suspenseful music.
I need you to roll me a strength check, please.
Okay.
Are you doing the Miguel?
Because as you
I am.
begin to,
Big L suspenseful music.
God damn it.
because as you begin to push the door, you realize it's a little heavier than you thought. Yeah, I say that does it. It definitely takes you kind of putting your shoulder into it after the first initial push doesn't get through, and you kind of begin to push the door slightly ajar at the very least. And inside looks to be a large room. And for the sake of it, we'll just take the door away. As much as I would love to use dynamic lighting, I can't.
Your potato can't run it?
Hmm?
Your potato can't run it?
You have to pay for it.
Ooh.
Boo.
I do not have a potato computer. This thing's got rainbow LED lights. It ain't a potato.
It's an LED potato.
It's a fancy tater.
Ooh, fancy tater.
It's a fancy potato, yeah. They call them French fries.
Hmm.
But yeah, inside looks to be a relatively empty room. However, as you begin to look into it, there is a pillar in the center of the room.
Wonderful.
Are there orbs near it?
No, in fact, you don't see any holes through it. It looks just to be a solid column with the occasional markings here and there that just more or less depict sceneries from wind. You see that there's a hallway over here and a hallway over there too.
Hang on, I don't know if we can trust this. It could be booby-trapped with orbs.
Is there anything? Is that depictions? Is there anything like any words inscribed on the pillar?
It's more imagery, and it shows mountains, floating islands, clouds, creatures in the air, typical things that you would see of wind. It looks more like a mural than anything more purely decorative from the looks of it.
Well, where are we going from here, folks?
I suppose there's not much choice other than either completely taking a look at this room or heading down one of these two paths that we can see. Either that or we could split up, but that ended so well last time.
Yeah, let's not try that again. That was so much fun before. I'm gonna go ahead and try to circle around the rest of the pillar just to get a visual of the room.
Sure. Okay.
Have the lights. He's walking away.
Yeah, your light's walking away. How aware of your surroundings are you trying to be, Rose? Are you actively looking for anything, or are you just kind of walking around?
I'm visualizing away from the pillar, but yeah, I'm basically want to see if there's anything else of interest in the room besides the hallways.
Give me a perception.
Perception, alright. I still have another one of these, so I give myself proficiency on that.
Okay.
That's at 11.
No, you can't seem to really discern much aside from it just looks like a mural carved into a pillar. Flix, considering you were here a few weeks back, can you roll me a quick history? Because you're kind of playing, you're strumming your lute as you're kind of looking at this pillar, and you pause for a second and realize something.
Mm-hmm.
You thought there was a door here. You were pretty certain there was a door, at least in this area. But it seems to be gone now.
All right, hang on. Everybody back up. A door is missing.
What?
A door is missing. There was a door right here when I was here, like 3 weeks ago. And now it's gone. And everyone knows wind doesn't move doors.
Mm-hmm.
It's too light.
Mm-hmm.
Doors are heavy.
They certainly moved a few other things.
Yeah, but that was magic.
Are you just trying to find an excuse to go after orbs again?
There's no orbs there or an orb hole. There's also no door hole.
Tiberius is just going to look down one of the open paths and back to Flix with a quizzical look.
There was a door here.
Mm.
Maybe it's invisible. I walk into the pillar.
You just run straight into a solid wall.
Ow! Not invisible.
Are you sure? Try again. Perhaps it was just because you went to the wrong place.
Let me
Yes,
take a...
it could be right. Ow!
Yeah, no, it's solid pillar.
Oh, what a shame.
Various is going to. Can they use investigation?
You may, yes.
Also, Furious is. Take 1 second.
I see Fria's typing.
Nothing important.
Murr.
No. You can kind of sort of get up to the wall and you kind of put your paws against it, trying to maybe see if there's any hollow spots or anything, but nothing quite catches your attention. But you're only looking at the middle of the pillar, kind of like the area where a door should be.
Okay.
You can't really discern much.
Does the pillow have any magic in it?
There seems to be magic coming from above it, but not of the pillar itself. And we're talking a floor above.
Rose, do your wind people like doing puzzles and tricks and all kinds of mind games?
No, that's my people. My people like that. A lot. Now I will play the Song of Revealing to reveal the door.
Yay, split the party.
Oh boy.
Dun, 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 dun. Starts playing Darude Sandstorm on their lute.
And you're seeing various that this is kind of similar to the other side of the room. There's more hallways.
Hmm.
Yeah, they definitely like their symmetry around these parts.
Tibbs, you were in complete darkness.
Well, he has dark vision, if I remember right.
Do you guys have dark vision?
I do believe we do.
I think we're supposed to, but it's not on my character sheet for some reason. Because we're rabbits that live underground.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I just need to
Blind
make sure.
rabbits who keep walking into walls.
No, that's Flix.
You know my pain.
Tibbs, also as you're coming down here, you do see something briefly kind of glowing in this direction, but it seems magical in nature.
Ahem. Hey, I found something!
Oh boy.
He's tapping his foot because they should have been here by now.
Also, Freya, since you're keeping an eye on the door, as you kind of see everyone start to go about their business, the door closes behind you, and you hear a click.
Oh shit.
And Flix, since you're in the room with Freya, you can see it too.
I'm still playing the Song of Opening.
Mm-hmm. Nothing's happening.
Closing, you mean?
Shit. Maybe I did.
What have you found, Tiberius?
Something magical this way.
What? Wonderful.
Listen, if you want to go in the dark all by yourself, that's up to you. I'd rather have Rose here, the big strapping fire thing, get in front of me and ensure that it's safe.
Just not even responding.
Ah, so you have a thing for him too, huh?
Oh.
What is with your... What would the word be? Pyrophilia.
You guys begin to enter a rather large library-esque looking room with kind of wood flooring, and we're talking wall-to-wall books.
Oh, by the twins. No, that's not what I meant to say.
Jin,
However,
steady.
Various. As you step into the room, you see that there's something in the center of it. It looks to be a large, floating, almost colorless crystal, and there seems to be something inside of it.
Various, make a will save to not start drooling over books.
Let's see, that would be wisdom, right?
Wisdom.
Okay, they
He's got
focus in-
composure. We're okay.
Mhm.
He just licks his hand, tucks back his ears, like, not
Yeah.
this time, Various. Anyone else see that thing in the center of the room?
Hey,
Yes.
yeah. And also remember what it was like last time we saw something like this?
I don't remember a large crystal.
What's
No.
in the center? There's something in the center, right? You all see that, yes?
Stay back.
Rose, what are you doing?
I'm taking a look.
No, send your Eidolon. Don't go by yourself.
I play the Song of Curiosity.
God damn it.
Various, as you get closer to the crystal, you feel as if it's pulling energy into it. In fact, you almost feel as the energy inside of your body is being pulled out of you the closer you get to it.
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, look. Tiberius was right. Again.
I don't think it's good for any of us to get close to that.
Tibbs, with your eyes, you actually see these tendrils that look to have been grabbing for Various pull away back into the crystal.
Oh, good. It seems to feed off of people who have magic or life essence.
So
I say
all
give
of
it
us.
a wide berth. Yes, give it a wide berth and let's avoid it completely.
And what's in it?
You see some sort of humanoid-looking figure. At least that's what you can discern.
I mean, could we try and throw one of these large books at it to see if they get destroyed or turn to ash? I think that's a good idea. Picks a random book, toss at the orb.
Okay, go ahead and make a ranged attack.
Roll for
Oh.
book.
Ooh, which book am I throwing? Please be something that Various likes.
Let's
Oh.
let's take a look. Let's get a book name generator.
21! Yes!
All
Wait,
right.
that's a save.
Oh, same roll, +4.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same modifier. You grab a book. It's a kind of a blue backed book, and it says "The Blade in the Winter." You kind of give it a look over, and then yeet. And yeah, the book hits its mark straight on, and it almost sounds like you're hitting a tuning fork as it goes boom, and just bounces off and collapses and the book collapses to the floor.
Alright, so unless if it's dead, we can break it. Any statues around here?
Your mic's off.
Alright, so if it doesn't have life, it can't be drained. Any statues around here?
Go ahead and give me a perception check. All of you for this.
Oh, thank God.
Okay. Ugh.
Tiberius is acting with his eyes closed, obviously.
Okay.
And I believe Phrase gets a +5 to that.
She does.
Oh God, I'm not a Viking at that at all.
Okay.
have two.
Rose and Frias, kind of as Tibbs mentioned statues, you start kind of looking around more closely. You see that there are traces of white dust all around the crystal. Furthermore, you can see almost drag marks of more white dust heading this way, and you see a broken statue over near the bookshelf over here.
I'm
Someone's
going.
been here.
I'm gonna head towards the broken statue down there.
Okay.
I could have Belua try to break it.
Could.
If there's somebody in there.
Belua is part of you. If it gets drained, will you get drained? Asking for a friend.
What kind of pose is the statue in?
Can you give me an investigation? Perfect. Rose, as you kind of kneel down next to the statue, you realize something very peculiar. This figure had originally been an outsider, and from the looks of it, they had, at least their face looks to be still intact, a look of horror on their face. More so, part of the torso is on the ground, and it looks to have been severed. It didn't break, their midsection was cut in half before they were turned to stone. And it's a very clean cut.
Yeah, this is getting gradually more messed up. Does this looks like that they were running, like, can I tell
Yes.
if the statue was heading to or away from the crystal?
They were heading away from the crystal, and they seemed to be running this way.
Seeing Tibbs beside me, I'll point out how it was severed. This person went down before they were trained.
Quite a way to go. Being killed like that. Being cut in half before you were turned to stone. Well, we warned about something turning people to statues. My suggestion is that you all step away from the orb of death.
It's not really an orb, it's more in the shape of an elongated triangular hexagonal crystal.
You're right, saying orb would get Flicks all flustered. There, you're right. That crystal of death! We can come back and smash it when we're done here. Right now, we're just trying to find Amadeus and deal with that giant three-headed monster.
I'm going to move around the statue and take a look down this way.
Okay. I'll go ahead and reveal that area. It looks to be another large room full of books, a rug with some nice wood plating on the floor. You see a few more statues in here in various states of not decay, but destruction. Like, obvious destruction. You see several huddled in a corner over here, looking like they had been pleading, with one missing an arm that's on the ground, one that's missing a head, another that looked to have been impaled against the bookshelves, as you can actually see an indent in the bookshelf itself from a very large weapon.
Is the weapon still impaling them?
No, it's gone. There's just a hole.
What the hell happened here?
Either an incoming army came and showed no mercy, or someone decided to kill a bunch of helpless bookworms. Varys, be careful!
Go ahead and give me another perception, Rose, from where you're standing.
Ugh.
Ooh, never mind.
I'm just going to move around here and see. Is there anything in this alcove up here?
Just more books.
And I'm going to move down to the impaled statues down here.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell? Is there any way for you to tell, like, what might have punctured them? Like, what kind of weapon it was?
Give me an investigation for that one. Okay, that's enough. You've seen a weapon like this before. It's almost too clean of a strike. It's obviously a blade, but from the size of the hole, it looks to almost be a greatsword. Which would explain the previous statue you had seen that had been cleaved in half. Furthermore, with that investigation, you do see that there is some white dust from parts of the statue that had broken off. You do see large footprints in them. They're fresh.
What direction are the footprints going?
They seem to have some that are leading this way as if approaching the statues that had been impaled before going away.
Are you
And whatever
done
it
with that?
was, and it was either fresh or it was heavy enough to leave a lasting imprint.
Tibbs, you might be onto something with that whole army theory.
Oh, good. Well, it's terrible being right all the time. But hurry up, go ahead. Yes, if there is an army, obviously they'll respect you more than I, as I am an outsider and all. So just get behind you.
That's not how it works, but you do you. What's the rest of our folks doing up there?
I was very curious. What are you guys doing up there? You seem to be chatting about where you currently are.
I am peering in quizzically.
All right.
Wondering what our next move will be.
Well, since there were drag marks going the other way, I'm gonna head towards this corner.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I have to do something in character.
Uh-oh.
Nope, didn't hear it.
Okay.
You saved yourself one snarky remark.
He is. I'm seeing a pattern with Tiberius' notoriously bad perception rolls.
This has been the case for the entire game.
So, Rose, as you enter this room, you see where the drag marks have finally led to. There's actually a pile of statues kind of put into the very center of the room, in various states of being broken, cut, dismembered, and they seem to just be decomposing at this rate into dust.
I guess we found. Where they put the dumpster here.
More
They used to be living beings. Could you have a bit more decorum about them?
And as for you, Tibbs, as you kind of enter the room and kind of witness this, your eyes kind of hone in on the fact that the same energy that permeated the barrier that prevented you from going up further is permeating from these statues. The same energy.
Don't touch them.
I mean, that was already a bad idea to begin with, but good to have the reminder.
Just trying to keep you alive. Rose?
Oh no.
Do I see anything else of note around the other edges of the room?
Perception, please. Very interesting. Okay. Rose, as you kind of move around, just kind of look around the body, you notice that there is something laying down here on the floor. Looks to be a cloth of some sort. And it's kind of wrestled in the arm, at least the decapitated arm of someone that had been murdered.
All right. Going to make sure my hand is suitably wrapped up and try to yank the cloth out of that arm.
And you do so with incredible ease. In fact, as you tear the cloth away, the hand and arm just disintegrate into dust. And now that you're finally able to get a good look at the cloth, you recognize the pattern. It's the same blue and white markings of the guild. Except this one's a little different. Typically, the robes are very dominant in white with blue motifs. This one is not. This one has dark blue, primarily with white motifs. And as you begin to look over this, you feel a slight pang in your head as you feel like you're trying to remember something. Something seems to be coming to your mind, but it doesn't quite click, but this feels important. In fact, you
Okay.
feel a sinking feeling in your gut, but it quickly
Now-
goes away.
Now, what does he have? Like, what
He
do
has
he...
he has a piece of cloth that resembles the guild attire, but the colors seem inverted and darker.
Oh, that's fine.
But you have a very strong feeling of unease, Rose.
Go back over to the 3 there. Guess who's been around these parts?
Someone with a terrible sense of fashion. Slow look at Burrows.
Does this call 3 any bells various?
Can I... I'm not sure whether or not... Oh, Seely, Nova. Should I roll, or would this be
I'd
something that he
say-
wouldn't recognize?
You might have recognized it, so I'd like you to make a history check. Okay. Varys, you're gonna take the cloth from Rose's hand, and it is a little familiar. You do briefly recall once, a long time ago, that you had seen a figure with similar colors approach some of the elders of the council. You never got their face. They didn't look compilation by any standards. They were very tall, very large, but that's all you can seem to remember. And you just remember, after this memory kind of crosses your mind, just this feeling of unease in your stomach.
You look like you've seen a ghost.
But it's pretty obvious that this cloth was torn from someone's robes in a fit of struggle.
Why are those two standing all the way back there? They know something we don't.
Yes.
Frace and Flix, please do keep up. We wouldn't want you turning to statues like the rest of these poor sods.
Fine. Slave driver.
Alright, and I'm going to continue on up to this other room.
Okay. You gonna wait for everyone else, or are you gonna go on ahead of them?
I'll wait for him to start following, and then I'll
Mhm.
continue on.
Hi, Jellybean. Hi, buddy. I can't right now, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put you down. I'll put you down. Open the door. There you go. Come on.
Alright, y'all heard tips here. Let's not be falling behind.
In this room, considering the fact that there was more. Oops, sorry. I said reveal, not hide.
He's been left!
Anyway, so considering the fact that there was more drag marks leading into this room, it's surprisingly clean and empty.
Hmm.
In fact, the closer you look at the drag marks that are leading out of this room, it's almost as if they were being pulled out of this room this way.
So something came out of this room. I wouldn't be surprised if they got tossed into that pile down there.
I say anything over there, Rose?
Amazingly, no. But the more I look at this here, that creature stalking on here in that storm. I'm starting to think this was almost meant to be a full-blown invasion on this temple.
Invasion of what?
I'd tell you if I knew. But
Well, there's nothing here.
judging from the general treatment of the fallen around here, this is all appearing rather deliberate, if you ask me.
Are you saying people get stabbed on purpose around here? No! Really?
The cool North South Galaxy.
Well, there's what? I'm guessing 3 other hallways. We might as well check them out, see if there's anything useful down there before we try and find this magical door.
Right on. Let's go.
Hop along, Burrows. Let's go.
He said hop because you're a rabbit.
At least respect the terms that we use for our own race, Flicks.
Which is?
We are Hopalicians from Gardania.
So you're hopping?
That's not our species.
No, of course not.
So it's rabbit then.
No.
But you're rabbits. You've got long ears and big feet. You're rabbits. And fluffy little cottontails.
Oh,
We can enlighten him later on what a Hopalician is compared to a rabbit.
Okay, you're bigger talking rabbits, but you're still rabbits. I'm not... Rose, they're rabbits, right? Look at them.
Rose says nothing and moves forward.
Leaving me hanging, man. Not cool.
I mean, I see that book snatch.
mm-hmm. What are you going to do with that book?
Well, he's gonna look at it.
Okay, we got here. The Steel Jewels is what it's called. And Various, as you kind of open it, as you kind of grab hold of the book, you realize the book has it's got some heft to it.
Almost a good Flicks hitting book, if you ask me.
I know what you're talking about. There's no book big enough to make Flick smart.
Well, we're not arguing about that.
No amount of beating will make this fairy smart. He's an idiot.
Various sets it down, still thumping their foot in indignation.
See? Like a rabbit.
How do you set it down, by the way?
Carefully. As angry as he is, he won't throw a book to the ground.
Would he set it on its spine, on its side? Where is he putting it?
On its back, I guess,
Okay.
on the back cover.
As you do that, you do kind of hear a jingling sound coming from inside of it.
He gingerly uses a foot to open the cover.
In fact, as you kind of flip the cover open, you realize that the book's hollow. Inside, there looks to be a little box.
He leans down, curiosity getting the better of him.
Mm-hmm. It looks just to be a little ornate wooden box that looks to be locked.
He picks it up.
And whatever's inside the box does have some heft to it and also jingles a little bit.
He's going to tuck it into his vest for now.
Okay. Let me mark that down. Cool. I was wondering when you guys were going to pick something like this up. Cool. All right.
Aw.
No, it's actually a pretty cool thing that I came up with. Okay.
Oh. Freeze. After you.
Alright, the gang's back together.
So far, you haven't been attacked by anything. Whereas as you come back into the room, you realize that the door that you had come in through is now closed.
I don't suppose any of you closed that to keep the draft out, right?
Not me.
Get down, cat, please.
Phrase will say it closed behind us and presumably locked.
Oh, of course. Why would it be any other way? Alright, let's see what wonderful treats are up this way.
Let's go ahead and reveal that. Whoops, no. I meant to reveal, thank you. Keep switching from hide to reveal. Okay. Looks to be a similar hallway as the one you just gone down.
Da-dum.
But as you enter this room, you notice that there is a very similar sight, at least here, that you see a large crystal holding something in the center of it, floating in the center. However, unlike the last room, there seems to be an absence of white powder and statues.
Oh, good. If ever we finish this, Varys is going to want to come here and read every one of these books.
Tibbs, as you enter the room, you notice that the tendrils that you had seen grasping at Various when he got too close to him are actually entering into the other rooms. So they're going this way, and this way.
We might not want to come in here. That thing seems to be draining things in the different corners. Could drain us. For one, would make a very handsome statue, but do not wish to become one. Then again, some poor schmuck is probably being drained of their very life essence as we speak.
How do I put the two tokens back together? Because I accidentally decoupled them.
Click and drag.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, thank you.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
Well, now's a good time to test whether or not Bellula is affected by this. Wouldn't you think, Various?
Fine. Might as well test it. Go on, Belua.
What, would you rather one of us get turned to stone?
Oh, hush.
Belua, as you kind of round that corner, you see something bizarre. There's what looks to be a large creature's limb that looks to be made of pure white marble. It looks to be almost like part of a hand that is being almost put together by some unseen force bit by bit. You can see bits of dust beginning to gather and cling to various joints and the like of this appendage.
Mm.
And in this room, you see a similar sight, but it looks to be a head. You see what looks to be a skull of some form of animal. You can't tell exactly what. But more importantly, the teeth that seem to be on this thing look to be made out of the limbs of the statues you've been seeing. And they seem to be getting reformed into teeth. And once again, a very similar sight. But in here, it looks to be a wing is being melted together. But instead of feathers, it's the statues or the corpses of people being formed into this creature's wing. Almost like some weird factory putting things together.
What did Belua show you, Various?
Well, I didn't exactly. They did that on their own.
I see.
Belua proceeds to stretch out an arm and taps on it and points to the room where the arm was. Taps on their head, points towards the room that had the skull, and then stretches out a long, feathery wing and points towards the room that had the wing.
Can I make like an intelligence roll or something just to make sure that Belua is just not playing charades?
Sure, go ahead.
Ugh.
Yeah, you don't get it. You're just kind of staring incredulously like, what?
Do you want to try, Tiberius?
With intelligence? Boy, howdy, this is gonna go well.
Tibbs, you're kind of watching this. You're kind of seeing Rose's rather perplexed look on his face, and you're kind of like sitting there. It's like, how can he be so stupid? Obviously, it's Belua telling us what's in each room.
I have a +4.
Essentially, you lost against a +0.
Rose, he's simply telling us that he's actually going to deal. It's currently making a bunch of different parts of the statue together in different rooms. One side has teeth, one side has a wing, and one side has an arm. How did you not get that?
Belua then points to the big crystal and then slams a fist down in their other hand.
Yeah, it's wonderful to say you want to destroy Belua. How would we go about doing that without dying?
Looks to them, looks to the crystal, looks to them, looks back to the crystal.
I mean, if this thing is making some kind of parts of a creature, I mean, I would prefer if those parts never come together then. But we don't know enough about these crystals yet to figure out how to shatter them.
Well, it's currently using its tendrils to put those things together, so perhaps it has a limited amount and we can go and smash it. That being said, I'm not the one going to check it. Good, Delia. I'm glad that you offered yourself up. Please, go see if it kills you. It's okay. Various can resummon you. What?
Various looks to the group as a whole. Should we try to smash it or continue to look around?
Listen, unless one of you can whip a book so hard that it shatters the crystal, I don't think we have anything physically capable of doing that.
Question for Nova.
Yes.
Yeah, let me check something here real quick. Okay. Would I be able to spend a minute using Libra to study some of the crystal's aspects?
Sure. What would you, in particular, want to know?
So this is in comparison to me, so I would like to know, its armor class,
Mm-hmm.
and, oh, what else makes sense here?
Resistances?
Well, I can't tell you resistance with Libra. It's just it's more of a stat comparison ability. Yeah, you know what? I'll study the armor class and current hit points.
Okay. Roche, you kind of keen your eyes onto this crystal, and you kind of look it over for a few seconds, and you realize that the crystal is incredibly brittle. It'd be very difficult to not hit this damn thing. It's big. It's not moving, for one. And you can actually tell its integrity is not very sturdy either. It seems incredibly fragile compared to you. You have a feeling that if you would just so much as knock this thing over, it might shatter.
So after spending that minute there... Okay, go ahead, sorry.
Will pop up and say, a better worry is we shatter it and it alerts whatever to our presence.
How about we check the other areas to see if there's anything that we can possibly do, and then come back here and shatter these things when we figure something out. Maybe we'll find, I don't know, a pole arm or some kind of rock we can roll into it.
Oh, I call dibs. I need my boot.
What?
Yeah,
I have
think...
high stilettos.
Yeah, I don't think dealing with the crystal itself would be too much save for us then. But yeah, I would rather see what else is in these rooms first.
Shall we split up? Maybe go a little bit faster.
What do the rest of you think?
Oh, I call Tiberius.
Well,
I would be fine with that.
don't go and die on me, Burrows. Though Rose is the only one with light. Could you pass me that torch? You yourself are made of light, right? Fire? Cast light?
Freys will stop Rose and light her own torch.
Ah, then Freys is with me. Excellent.
No, I'm with you.
We can have more than one person.
That's not the point of splitting up.
Alright, look. Alright. Tibbs, Brius, Flex. You had one way, and then me, Various, and Belua. We'll check out the other area.
I mean, wouldn't it be wiser for Belia to go with someone else because he can alert his master? Sorry. He can alert Various to a danger that he sees. Yeah, all right. I mean,
Fine, I'll go with Bellula then.
That doesn't. Come, Freys.
Then I can go with them.
Alright.
So since you guys are splitting off into two groups, I'm going to roll 1d2 and see who goes first.
me get various.
So Freya's group, you'll be 1. Rose will be 2. We're going with Freya's group first. Okay. And kind of similar sight to the other rooms, you see that this room is in fact host to yet another crystal with a strange humanoid figure inside of it. It's a very similar sight again to the last room you were in, is that you see tendrils branching off from the crystal, heading into the other rooms.
And no Bellula in sight. Alright.
What do you see?
Those tendrils probably putting together pots in the other rooms again. You know, just like the previous place, though what they're putting together, I don't know. We have to go and take a look.
Fuck off.
What was that? What was that?
What happened?
Oh shit, I was transmitting.
I
And I
just
threw
hear
up
it.
and when I was drawing, I said, "Oh fuck off."
Yeah, that's... I was like, wait, what?
She's working on
I'm done with all of you. I'm going to clown college.
She's working on My Hero page, and apparently she messed something up and then just swore.
Yeah, I feel that.
All right. Freya, Sparrows, you stay here. I will check the northern front. Please don't
She'll
kill me.
hand
Please don't
him
kill
the
me. Please don't kill me.
torch.
Thank you. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me.
No, that doesn't really kill you, but as you get around the corner, you see the tendrils are attached to what looks to be a large hand. A familiar looking hand. It's white, made of marble, but it seems to be getting piece parted together.
Okay.
Similar sight in here, except in here, you see the head of something. It looks like a lion's head being put together. It's only halfway complete, so it's kind of like half of a skull sitting on the floor, but you see mangled, statuesque bodies being pushed and forced into shape by the tendrils.
They're being reconstituted into it.
Yes.
By the twins.
And again, similar sight, except in here looks to be another wing, a feathered wing.
Tiberius is going to relay that this is another assembly line happening.
Is he going to give details on the different parts?
Yep. There's stuff. Looks as though the poor souls that got turned into statues are being forced together into some kind of amalgamation of parts, including a lion's head, a wing, and another hand. Looks like the thing we fought earlier is simply being constructed in these walls.
Oh. I have a question that might be slightly insane, but is this constructing a different creature?
No, I believe it's constructing the same thing that we recently fought, which means that there's going to be more of these things if we don't deal with this soon.
No. You don't get what I'm saying. What? he looks to Freus.
Are you asking whether or not it's constructing another one, or if it's reconstructing it on the inside of the building?
No. Remember how time was a little strange before? What I'm asking is this a different one? Or is this the same one? But...
How the bloody hell should I know? There's no, like, mark of a guild master on it or anything like that, if that's what you're asking. There's no identification mark saying, run one of two.
Hmm.
I'm guessing Freya said that when Tiberius was doing his rounds.
Yeah.
Correct.
Listen, what's important is this thing's being put together here. Whether it's a second one or the same one and we're somehow in some kind of freaky time loop, well, that makes me feel very, very uncertain, because if that's the case, then we're all going to die, for it does escape and attack us over there. Thanks, Various.
Just he starts to storm down the hallway.
Okay. And with
It's
that,
not
we'll
like
head to
you got
the...
your own spell flung back at you, Burrows.
And we'll go ahead and head to the second group as you guys begin to head your way back. Rose, Flix, Belua, Truffles.
Belly, get over
Holy shit, Billy just went through a wall.
there. Belly was magic.
There's like, yeet.
Belua suddenly the Kool-Aid man?
Oh, yeah! I mean, he's got the strength.
He did rip through a wall.
And here, Rose, you start to see that there are statues here as well. They look to be piled up almost like a storage room, though. You see several different bodies cast aside, piled up. You see trails of dust all over the place. This place is covered in statues and dust. You would say that on a quick glance, you could probably get, let's see. You count like 30 different people in here. All dead. All turned to stone.
Oh, this is looking amazing.
In fact, as you get a little further from the crystal, you realize that some of these have not been fully turned to stone yet. There's some actual corpses in here, with blood on the ground.
Oh.
These are a combination of mostly outsiders.
Mm.
But give me an investigation as you're kind of moving past some of these.
Okay.
Hey, Jurgen.
Rose, as you kind of look down at some of these, you realize that some people are not wearing sigil stones. Some people don't look like they're from the plane of wind at all. They have completely different clothing. There are clothing from different eras of time, even. It's almost as if these people were pulled here from elsewhere. You see humans, you see elves, you see dragonborn. It seems to be a wide mix. These were not people here at the temple.
Belua taps Rose on the shoulder.
Hmm.
It points at the crystal and slams a fist in its other hand.
I'm gradually starting to agree with your line of reasoning.
Mm.
Also, with that investigation, you notice that the corpses that are still kind of fresh are being slowly drained of color and hardening into statues.
Alright. First things first, we see what other gifts they stuffed in here.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe it'll be smashing time.
Okay. And surprisingly enough, there's nothing in this room. It's empty.
Alright, and
How
going to
does
this.
Flix feel about all this?
Mm-hmm.
How does Flix feel?
This particular room, as you kind of round into the corner, you notice it has a similar scene to the center room. Except instead of statues, there is a lot of dead bodies in here. Actual dead bodies. More importantly, though, Rose, a few of them happen to indeed be primordials, but they somehow seem to be strangely solidified. Like, you know, normally when a primordial dies, their body dissipates. Their bodies haven't.
Nova, would I have run across any of this type of magic or contraption in the Fey realm?
No. It's completely new to you.
Okay.
It's almost
But,
as
like,
if
Unless you
someone...
go to an unseelie party.
Mhm. It almost feels as if it's a perversion of magic on display right now.
Oh, Father
And
be
there's no way
damned.
to reverse any of it?
No, you don't know.
Can Bellua look through the bodies somewhat?
What specifically are you looking for?
They're looking for... They're mostly looking for anyone that might be at all alive. They're not very intelligent, so they're not able to look for like treasure or look for specific sorts of armor or anything like that.
Give me a straight 1d20. No. Nothing you've come across has had a pulse. Nothing moves. Everything's dead. Even worse is that you see that there's not completely all humanoid figures. You see some animals as well. Dragons, cats, dogs, anything that might have
Oh,
had
now
life
they gotta
force.
die.
Anything that had life force seems to be fair game.
And then
I'm gonna cover Truffle's eyes. I don't want him to see this. Cruelty to animals is not good.
Does Truffles need the paper bag now?
Yes. I will console Truffles. It's too much for him to bear.
Alright, let's check out this last section here.
In this room, Rose, you don't see bodies, but you see tables. Long tables that seem to be set up with various different tools and equipment. You see a kind of long table strewn out here, along here, and over here. And they seem to have various apparatuses bubbling and boiling away, as well as what seem to have been notes at first, but you see some things have been burned.
Let's get a closer look there, and do I recognize any of the like chemicals or tools there?
I'd say do another investigation for me. Nothing seems to come to mind. You don't know what these chemicals are. They just seem to be chemicals to you. You're not sure what they are. At least from that, you can gather maybe this is like an alchemy setup. Maybe they were researching something here. You don't know what, though.
I'm going to pull out my sigil stone. Yeah.
Okay.
Various, you still there?
Sending stone.
Sending stone.
Sending stone.
Yes.
Meet us down in the south area here. Anybody want to look at this?
Varys will look to Tibbs and Frias. We seem to have found something. I want us to come on down.
Also, try not to lose your lunch when you come in here.
Wonderful.
I believe that's impossible. He lost it on the way. Remember? Oh wait, that was a day ago. We can't even eat. I'm starving.
I figured the only
Yes.
reason Flix wouldn't have noticed the smells because they probably smell very heavily of their perfume. So, as the others come in, they start to notice that there's a huge wafting scent of decay in this hall as they approach. And indeed, you do see the same sight as they had seen, bodies upon bodies. Some still fresh, some statues. I'd say, yeah, say goodbye to your lunch there, Various.
They have nothing. There is no food.
So just
Enjoy
dry
your bile.
heaving. Enjoy your bile and dry heaving. Tibbs, go ahead and give me a con save. Yeah, you're fine. You're kind of sitting there like, huh, reminds me of one of my mother's dungeons.
He's going to just slowly pull out a hanky and just like put it over his nose delicately.
Mm-hmm. It's like, I've dealt with this before. It's fine.
And just like Mother used to do.
Go
Wow,
on,
your
Frias.
mom is a horrible person.
Go on. I'll be right behind you.
Oh, here. Where's the other two? Sec. Do I hear Various down the way?
Yeah, you can hear him.
Anyways, we'll catch up on later. Frias, maybe you can, maybe you would, be able to recognize some of this stuff here.
And indeed, you see something similar. Freya, you see that this place looks almost like an alchemy lab. It's a little discombobulated, and it's obvious someone has been here recently to try to destroy some of it, but...
Is there anything can I check on anything to see what they were trying to make?
Depends on which table you're checking. There's a total of 3 tables. One here, and one here. Most of them have things that are still boiling and bubbling and smoking away. There are some bits of parchment that seem to be burnt. There are some surviving pieces.
Oh, let me check my spells. Hey, I have mending. Could I use that?
You can.
But do I have to roll wild magic?
Yes, you do.
I'll risk that.
Oh, let me get my little try out.
I'm just gonna save here.
No, it's 75. This is a new one.
Frias is having an awesome day.
So, Frias, you just kind of grab one little fragment of paper and you begin to try to cast mending, but you notice that your spell kind of fizzles for a second before you see the energy kind of double back again on you, and you kind of brace yourself for the worst, but then nothing happens. You do feel a little empowered, though. For the next minute, all of your spells that are cast are as if they've been affected by the empowered spell meta magic.
I have no idea what that does, so
That's
she'll
what I'm
just...
looking at.
For now, I'll just look at the bottles if you feel like multitasking.
Meta magic.
I was gonna laugh if your clothes were suddenly super clean and like brand new.
Basically, is if you cast a spell that deals damage, it gets increased. That's all it does. You increase the power of your spells, causing them to deal more damage. All variable numeric effects of an empowered spell are increased by half. So.
Do I? Are there any burnt notes on the other tables as well?
All 3 have burnt notes.
I'm gonna move to the south one, and I'll also try to cast mending.
Okay. No. In fact, Rose, you begin to start to try to cast mending, but you notice that your spell starts to spark out of control, much like Frias's.
Tiberius is just gonna lean to Varys. I did warn them, didn't I?
And unlike Frias's, however, Rose, you see a bolt of magic shoot out from you and kind of hover in midair as it turns a sickly green color and slams into you. You cast Ray of Enfeeblement on yourself.
Oh.
So let me just... Ray of Enfeeblement. So go ahead and make a ranged touch attack.
Oh, range touch. Let's see. What am I rolling for that?
That's 1d20 plus your dex.
Oh, okay. 1d20 plus dex. All right. Just okay, I'll just do a dex roll then. Where are you?
What's your AC?
13.
Okay, the magic almost slams into you, but you kind of brush it off as you're kind of like, what the heck was that? Since your AC beat it, it doesn't affect you.
Huh.
May I have a look?
As long as it doesn't involve nuking yourself, go right ahead.
You do seem rather skilled at that, Rose.
Freya, how damaged is the paperwork? Is it like just completely ashes, or is it like there are still pieces of it?
There's still pieces. It looks like someone tried to burn some of the evidence, but it either fizzled out or they didn't do it as well as they thought they had. So I would say, like, if you look at a sheet of paper, about half of it has burned away, and there's like char marks along the edges.
Freya is going to start pocketing the papers on this table and instead, again, examining what's on the table to try and just basically guess.
Just give me a 1d6 to see how many you grab. Okay, you're able to kind of mess around some of the pages. Some of them are already falling apart, but you're able to find 2 that kind of hold up well enough, and you're able to pocket those. So let me write that down for this.
Can I identify any of these liquids? Especially since I have a potion maker's kit.
If you like, you can spend time testing them with the potion maker kit. It would take you about 10 minutes to test at least one solution.
Are there any papers on this table?
There's papers on all the tables.
Okay, can I read any parts of them?
What languages do you understand?
I understand Common, Hopaletian, and Primordial.
Okay, you kind of start looking over some of the words, but you notice that they're written in code. You can't quite understand it, but you figure that with time, maybe you can work to decipher it. Almost like it's a cipher. A cipher,
Yeah.
sorry, cipher. I can't.
I'm guessing comprehend languages wouldn't help.
Not in this case. This would be a case that you would need to sit down and gather information and decode it. Because this is not a language.
I can... With a little bit of time, I can see what I can figure out from this. If you all are willing to go on.
I mean, that's one option there. I think your Belua is starting to get a little antsy around these crystals. I don't blame them.
They very much do not like what they are seeing.
Honestly, I don't either.
How long would you need?
I would need... I can either work on these notes, or I can go directly to these solutions and start working on them. I could also use a ritual magical spell, but we've seen how magic is reacting right now.
Pocket the notes. If you can do it quickly, check what they're making. If not, I believe whatever it's making it should be stopped.
Go ahead and roll me a 1d6 to see how many you grab. 3, okay. I'm gonna go right and write that in my notes.
Freya will go to the other table and try to get the other notes.
Okay, so roll me a similar roll, 1d6. Very nice. That brings up 7 scraps of burnt guild notes.
Alright, so he's going to start pulling out his potion maker's kit and gonna start working on testing some of the alchemy. So
Alright.
in the meantime,
What would everyone else like to do while Various does this?
While Various is playing that, if I take like a casual glance around the books here, does it look like, do the books pertain to any of the work being done around here?
No. Most of these books look to be left untouched.
Okay, so it's just a random, weird research room.
Mm-hmm. It almost feels as if it was just kind of put off to the side and repurposed for the nature of whatever they were doing in here.
mm,
2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way I can help Various with their task?
Yes. You can.
Alright, that'll be what Freya's does then.
Alright, cool. Since Various is helping you, I would say that it's much faster to get things done for you, Various.
alrighty.
Alright, so anyways, Rose is gonna kind of huddle the others around them.
Tibbs are being pushed by Belua.
Mm. They're trying to push him towards the doorway.
Like, not into the room?
Not into the room, no. No, not into the room.
Towards the center.
Go
The
towards
main
the
room.
light.
Delia was gonna just try to pick up Tibbs.
Be contested strength if Tibbs doesn't want to be picked up. Yeah, he kind of just picks up bridal style.
Hey, Flix, Flix, could you follow us, please?
Tibbs, you're being carried by Belua. You were kind of pulled into a room that's full of very dead bodies, like multiple dead bodies. Not statues, dead bodies.
What?
And it reeks in here.
How many bodies are in here? 30?
That was in the center room. Let's do a roll for how many are in here.
There's probably a plus to whatever roll you do.
So there's an extra 24 bodies in here.
Belua? These bodies aren't rotten, correct? Do any of them have any hard-looking clothing or material on them?
What would you be looking for specifically? Are you talking about armor?
Armor, a poignard, a knife.
You see that there are some people that have armor on them. It looks to be dented as if they were attacked. You don't see any weapons though.
Tiberius is going to start stripping the armor.
Okay.
Why do you have to steal everyone's armor?
You're not there, Friss. Do not question the bun.
Let me roll me a random 1d20. See what kind of armor you snag. All right. Let me just do a little roll here. Do. Really? Okay. Tiberius, you find someone who is decked out in some really heavy armor. Like we're talking, like you bang on this thing and it's like tung tung tung.
That's
like
perfect.
This is like this is some heavy shit, and you start to kind of undo the buckles, undo the clasps, and you pull off +1 plate armor from this guy. Add that to your inventory.
Well, you see, that's the funny part. Tiberius wasn't doing this to scavenge.
Oh, what is he doing?
Tiberius is going to, well, he can't really do it, but he's going to try and hold up the armor belly and go, right. Puts the armor down and points to the crystal thing and does the little punch into fist thing and then points to the armor and then points to the crystal and then points to Belua.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, this is some heavy plate armor that he's found.
This will make a big dent, or will break it, or will shatter the armor. Either way, we find out whether or not these things can be broken. What do you think, Belua? Slow look at Rose and Freya's and Flix were there. What? He wasn't going to use it.
You have no respect for the dead.
Better them than me.
One second, please. The smell finally caught up to him.
It's like he just kind of barks to the side. Okay, I'm okay.
So approaching the bodies there, can I try to see if there's any signs of life whatsoever?
Roll me an investigation.
Wow.
Nothing. You don't. There's nothing. There's no movement. There's no breathing. You can't see anything. Everything just looks dead. Dead on arrival. Some definitely look fresher than others. Some had probably been sitting for a bit. It's obvious that the guild cares very little for what they've done here. And it shows.
Okay, look. I'm all with you for smashing these things, but remember, there's, what, 4 of these scattered around? So we need to figure out... We know 2 of them are putting those parts together, and the other 2... Well, they're not quite selected right now, but...
Look. Flick says a door is missing. There are 4 of these orbs, and they're putting together these creatures in different rooms and sucking people dry and turning them to statues, then turning those statues into ash and putting those ash together into the monsters that we're seeing. At the very least, we can try and throw a magical set of armor at it to see if A, it eats the magic, or B, it gets shattered. If it gets shattered, oh good, then we can fight whatever it's coming or building. At least it won't be fully constructed and maybe we'll have a chance.
He's got a point.
If we sit here on our ears and do absolutely nothing, we are going to fight another one of those 3-headed things again.
Nope. Don't want to do that. I want to veto fighting the giant monster.
Look at what, Belua?
I'm going to veto giant the fighting monster. Yeah. Let's never do that ever again.
Well, at the very least, let's wait for the other 2 to finish up whatever this they're doing, and then we'll take care of business.
Very well, I'll take a look. Tiberius is going to prod over the bodies and kick a few of them in the head to see if they react.
Roll me an investigation.
Oh, goody. Can I just automatically fail this?
We'll see.
Damn it.
You did fail. It's not high enough. But no. You kick a few heads around, no answers, no reactions.
Nope, stone dead. Poor choice of words.
Well, Bellula, there's nothing stopping you from taking a look at this either, though.
Perhaps Truffles is a life-smelling pig.
Nope. You leave Truffles out of your monstrosity.
Truffles looks a little sick at the smell.
Aw, Truffy.
Poor little Truffles is a little green in the face.
Alright, I'm gonna cuddle Truffles.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a hard day.
He's had a hard day.
Hard to be a piggy.
I'm going to point out, the person that you'd want to be checking these bodies is Freus. At least they have that little winged thing that makes people feel better. Maybe if you put it in the pile or something, one would be like, "Oh, I feel so wonderful now. I'm not turning into ash."
What magical world are you living in?
My world. It's wonderful. You should join it.
I don't know if I want to. It almost sounds kind of crazy.
It is coming from the day.
Yes. What does that tell you?
You have some problems, Flix.
You're nuts.
No.
And I'm made of glitter. As I slide away from you.
Oh,
Oh wow. Okay. Bellula, where exactly in the room are you? What are you looking for?
they're looking again.
You're kind of moving around some of the bodies, and let me just do real quick. I'm trying to find it. Okay. Bellula, you're kind of stepping around a bunch of different bodies, and you do notice a bit of movement, at least way over here in the corner. From the looks of it, you kind of push away several of the dead bodies, and you see some sort of small, I would say almost can fit in your palm, kind of figure shivering in the corner. It looks bloody, it looks beaten up. It's kind of fluffy and has a bunch of feathers all over it, and it looks almost like a little bird creature. It's kind of curled in on itself.
What's going on over there, Bellula?
You guys see Bellula suddenly drop to all fours.
Oh no! Bellula! Speak to me, Bellula! Bellula!
Oh.
It's
Tips
almost
leaning
the
on the
size,
book.
I would say it's almost the
Thank you.
size of like a chicken. But it doesn't look like a chicken. It looks kind of reptilian.
Right, don't do what I
I
say.
will
no,
put
don't tell us.
what it is in the chat.
Herb.
But it just seems to be cowering in a corner.
Do I recognize the species?
Give me a history.
Okay.
Yeah, you've come across creatures like this before in your past life. You know, they tend to come from worlds that tend to be more ancient, or rather, they haven't quite caught up with more modern ages, or a sentient creature hasn't really set in. They tend to be very primitive animals. But
Is it alive?
it's very much alive. Yes,
Is it a kobold?
it's
Bellula
kind of like-
told you.
Okay, I'm using animal handling.
Okay, it's kind of like, it's basically a tiny little feathered velociraptor.
Okay, I'm gonna try to coax it.
Okay, go ahead and do your animal handling. No,
Oh
you
no!
kind of-
It bit me!
yeah, essentially, you kind of reach out to kind of be like, "Oh, hey there, little guy," and then you hear this little as he bites at you.
I shriek back at it.
And it goes back to kind of cowering and curled up.
It bit me.
Belua bit you?
Stop, Belua.
They
That's
wouldn't have a
nothing.
hand if Belua bit them.
3 points of acid damage.
Nah, it's just kind of it's too big to really wrap its maw around your finger. It's more of like just a nip.
I'm going
It's
to.
a dinosaur.
It's a little dinosaur.
I'm gonna pull. I'm gonna pull one of the rations from my explorer's pack because I don't have any other use for it, being primordial. I'm going to open up the contents and kind of flash it towards the creature. Psst.
Go.
Hey.
I say with that, go ahead and do a advantage on your animal handling, as it does seem to perk up at that. And you kind of dangle a little bit of jerky out in front of it, and you definitely see its head kind of perk up, and it limps towards you. It's obvious that one of its legs and one of its arms are very badly injured. And it kind of inches forward and tries nipping at the offered food.
And Jin is like, now everyone here who has done this to this poor little animal must die.
Like some of its feathers are broken. Obviously, they're bleeding. Its tail's a little crooked. It's been roughed up pretty bad.
Yeah, I'll close the distance upon seeing it crippled. Yeah, just
it will peck at the meat in your hand.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Externally screaming. You guys could always tell him that you found something.
Do you understand me at all?
It's just busy with eating the meat. You can't tell if it's intelligent or not. It probably isn't.
This is how Freus gets an animal companion.
Oh, I never know. It seems just very much content with eating from your hand.
All right, and then once it looks like it's finished eating, I'm going to try to offer my hand out to see if I can get it to stay poised in there.
Mm-hmm. And it'll kind of climb up onto your hand. It's more or less looking for more food, but it'll kind of settle up on there. A little wobbly considering the fact it's quite injured. You acquired a pocket raptor.
Oh no! 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 Wait,
and even
can't
more
be those
so,
ones. Oh, thank God.
And even more so, Rose, as you kind of look around, you see that there's corpses of more of these little creatures that have already been killed.
Guess you were the lucky one of the bunch, huh? Alright. Once the others are done here, it's smashy time. Fuck it.
Rose is just carrying this little raptor in his hand. Now, just to be careful with this thing only has 1 hit point left. So that's your warning. That's your warning.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of following basic HP rules, this is what we call a retainer, meaning that whenever this thing takes damage, it has to roll a con save versus the attack instead of AC. Meaning that if it gets hit, it takes a certain hit point of die damage, and then if it goes down, it dies.
No. Take the baby to the one who can heal it.
I
I
mean,
can heal it.
Afflicts, heal it! It's a
Oh,
baby.
that's right.
It's a
Bard.
fluffy baby.
Bards do healing things too.
Yes.
Royce is like, I don't know where to go.
Okay, I'll
The cleric
I'll-
is carrying an
step
infant
in.
baby raptor. I find that ironic.
That's
I'll
right,
step-
you're a cleric. Do you have healing spells?
I mean, technically, I do.
All right, Tibbs, since you picked out a random book to read, I'm going to put this in chat.
Oh no. Oh. Oh no.
Okay. Oh, suddenly Flex.
yeah, I said I'll use a healing word on it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll wild magic first.
That's 1d100, right?
Yes, it is. Snozberries taste like snozberries. It's going wild.
No.
There goes
No.
the raptor.
No.
We're having cooking raptor for dinner, boys.
Or it got bigger.
Oh no.
So remember how Rose cast Wave and Beetlement on himself? You just did the same thing to yourself, so I need you to make a ranged touched attack. So
Wait, how does Flix get enfeebled? He's already a fop.
This is true.
But the thing is, he has to make a ranged touch attack for it to even affect him. So go ahead and make one of those. It's usually just straight dex, technically, because it's 1d20 plus your dex.
A dex save?
Just 1d20 plus your dex. A ranged attack, ranged touch attack, basically.
So. Like that? Good lord.
Oh god! Flix, you begin to try to cast kind of cure wounds on this little fluffy injured thing, but you realize that the magic kind of becomes sickly green around your hand, and you just suddenly feel as if your strength is being drained out of your body. So let me...
Wait, what's Flix's AC?
14.
Oh wait, no, yeah, okay, then it didn't make it. Never mind, sorry. Yeah, no, it kind of goes green for a second and then fades. But the animal has
okay.
not been healed.
Okay, instead, I'm just gonna pull out some bandages and wrap them around it.
Okay, go ahead and make a medicine check.
Can I help Flix with this too?
You can, so I'll give you advantage on that. So roll one more time.
Oh, good god.
That's better. You kind of you're able to get some bandages around it.
I'm guessing it's
and-
moving around a lot, so we're trying to hold it without hurting it.
Yeah, it's wiggling. It doesn't like being held, especially by you, Flix. It likes being held by Rose. But
I'm
with
not
Rose,
holding it.
Rose is
Rose
able
is
to kind
holding
of
it. It
yeah,
bit
Rose,
me.
yeah, Rose is able to kind of distract it a little bit, but it's still kind of wiggly and stuff like that. But it recovers 1 hit point of damage, so it's got 2 hit points now.
Mm-hmm.
I posted something in OOC.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Yup.
Yep, yep.
Your rolls have been terrible
So
tonight.
true.
That's not good.
Alright, I think it'll be calm enough for now. But yeah, and once that's done, I'm gonna go check on the others.
Okay.
So
And,
technically, they do it on purpose to drag the heavy metal armor behind him and make as much noise as possible.
Just a...
God damn it.
Oh yes.
As you say that, Frias, you look up and see Rose is entering the room with something in his hands.
No, no one help me. That'd be too helpful.
Just
No, why let the Hop Mission do it all? Of course.
Hearing a whole lot of belly aching in the back room.
Never mind that right now.
Oh.
What's any progress here?
I'd say that indeed you've had some progress. From at least the time you've been sitting here with Frias, you've discerned that what the guild have been doing is they've been essentially poisoning and killing things with the toxins that are being brewed here at these alchemy stations. Now, these toxins have a variety of horrific effects, and they seem to differ based in potency and strength. And at least from the notes you were able to gather and probably take a look at it a little bit, you can probably guess that they did it because of the different races and see what affected them and what didn't. But most of the effects you've noticed were to just stop all means of function in the body, paralysis, entropy, without really killing the body.
So
But
trying to
killing-
render them brain dead?
Essentially, but keeping them alive enough to feed them the life force.
So basically, like puffer fish poison.
Big time.
This
Except this stuff seems to be in various potencies as they've been testing it.
various make sure to cork anything they've been working with and check their gloves to make sure there's no remains before they take off the gloves.
Mm-hmm. Very smart.
Well, I think I know what whoever was doing this, which I'm guessing was the guild, was doing here.
Yeah.
These are various poisons that aren't meant to necessarily kill so much as completely incapacitate.
So you mean preserve these bodies as fuel for whatever the hell they're constructing here?
Fuel would be a good guess, yes.
God damn it. But Rose does go ahead and show him the little raptor there. Apparently this is the only thing that survived the carnage.
Yeah, it's a cute little raptor. It's kind of bandaged up right now. At least, to the best of their collective ability. But it seems to be cuddled up in Rose's hands.
Freya's looks from a distance and is a little mesmerized, but she's just quiet as she looks at it.
Freya, you know what this is. It's a velociraptor, or a tiny one at the very least, but you have seen similar creatures to this. You thought they were extinct.
Ooh, a new form for Freya's. I mean,
Time
Only
to
if
eat
I
it.
eat it.
No! There's dead ones in the other room. You can eat those.
No, I'll
You don't
turn
know
into a I'll turn into a pocket raptor. I'll be completely useless.
Well, Well, also, remember about the poisons you just learned about. You don't know if they're still in those bodies.
Don't eat the baby.
That is a terrible thing to take out of context.
Tibbs has an idea of how we can deal with these crystals.
Alright, Belua, throw it!
As you can see,
I was going to suggest all of them at the same time, but I guess he has his own plans.
Why doesn't he?
Go ahead and make a ranged attack for me, please.
Oh, that'll go well for... What's ranged attack again?
1d20 plus your dex.
Okay, so I can just make my dex roll?
Yes. You kind of pick the armor up and start to try to throw Belua, but you kind of just go, like you're throwing a basketball, and it kind of lands only a foot in front of you. And then onto the ground.
Okay, he's gonna pick it up.
A little closer, yeah.
He's gonna go smash!
Belua goes in for the layup!
Have you ever watched wrestling?
Mm-hmm.
He's going for the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, give him the chair!
Ready?
Alright, go ahead and roll an attack on it.
Really?
Oh,
really?
God. Chair broke.
Actually, no, that hits.
God damn.
It
It is brittle.
is a
It is-
non-moving object.
And you kind of, you're about to sort of misjudge your swing, but the armor kind of collides with it anyway, and you just hear this sickening, resounding crack as you see the crystal tumble and shatter, and the figure tumble out. The figure is kind of lays among the crystal.
As an OOC note, Frias had the smart idea,
Mm-hmm.
but Belua was already, like, set on destroying this thing and is not a smart creature.
As the crystal shatters and the body collapses to the ground, you see the energy that the crystal was harboring just shoot out in all directions, and you hear screams. Echoes of screams and mournful cries as you watch the energy dissipate.
Just
What's-
like Moon's dungeon.
What's the figure look like?
Belua, as you look up on the figure, you notice that it has robes on. White and blue robes.
Okay, is there like, I don't know, some form of guard we can call to deal with this? Because I don't think we should be here. This feels like it's above our pay grade.
I just
I-
imagine
I
everyone looking
admit
at
that I'm
Flix.
not getting paid to do this.
Yeah, let's say everyone should probably look at Flix like, we're getting paid. But yes, the figure is now on the ground, strewn around a bunch of shattered crystal.
Is it
Is it
alive?
alive?
You can check.
I'll give it a kick in the head.
Wow.
There's no response.
Alright, I've seen Freya's do this once. I put my fingers on the head. No, neck. That's it. On the neck.
No pulse.
Huh. It's dead.
Yeah.
I guess now's the time to go through pockets.
You don't really find anything on the figure.
Excellent. Come, Belua. Bring the smashing armor with us.
I'm sorry, the what?
It's an armor of smashing. Obviously it worked.
Oh boy. Oh fucking boy.
Sorry.
That's alright.
For what?
Just OOC-ly. By creature, is Various referring to Belua or to the creature being put together?
The Velociraptor.
And a quick
Oh,
question.
that one.
The thing Tiberius touched, was it human? Elven?
You kind of pull back the
Smelled
hood, and you see that it's human.
Oh,
They kind
okay.
of have auburn hair, kind of pale skin, but they're very pale. They've been dead a while.
Oh,
Okay, I'm gonna pop in one of those crystal shards, though.
this is horrible. Why
Okay.
are we here?
Rose will nod and we'll go look down at the Velociraptor. All right, you're gonna.
Various, make an animal handling if you want to take it from Rose, because it's obvious that it doesn't want to be touched.
Oh boy.
Mm-mm.
Let my inner she shine through.
Yeah, it's Rose is able to kind of coax it into your hands,
Yeah.
but at this, we'll be taking our break. So we'll be returning at about 6:20-ish.
Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
Take your breaks.